Today's flip is 3 flips in 1. I'm showing you 3 different ways to take furniture from a big box store and turn it into something fabulous. Stay tuned. I keep finding this same exact dresser on Facebook Marketplace, and each time I see it, I buy it just to see if I can turn it into something completely different. This first one, I went for some modern shine, like some of the trendy Anthropologie pieces that I see online.
I fell in love with this lacquered dresser the moment I saw it on Anthropologie's website, but the one thing I didn't love was the price tag. So I found myself one on Facebook Marketplace that looked close enough, and I'm going to see if I can duplicate it. To get this dresser to look closer to the one I found on Anthropologie, I'll need to update this base. So I'll tip it on its back just to get to these legs so I could give them a new shape. Now that I've made the legs a little more modern, I'll take my orbital sander just to sand down any of the rough spots. That old hardware has got to go, so we're patching up some of the holes on the front to make room for our new poles. And now that we've let the wood fill dry, everything will get a nice scuff sand to take out all these nicks and scrapes and get our dresser ready for paint. These high shine finishes can be a little tricky, but one thing's for sure, everything has to be extremely clean before you start. Any little bit underneath this paint is going to show. I've chosen the color Illusion by Sherwin-Williams in their chalky enamel paint. This is the closest color I can find to that Anthropologie dupe. Today's video is sponsored by FlexiSpot. FlexiSpot has helped me solve an ongoing battle in my house. You see, I'm the night owl and my husband, he's the early riser. I like to stay up late and get my work done. He likes to go to bed early. And in our current king-size bed, there's only room for one of those options. I either get to sit up and have my back supported and be comfortable while I work, which means he's uncomfortable trying to fall asleep, or the bed's lowered so he can sleep, and that leaves me waking up with neck and back pain the next morning. FlexiSpot has provided us with the perfect solution. We got FlexiSpot's Adjustable Bed Base S5 and 2 MLILY Dreamer Gel Memory Foam mattresses. The bed frame was so easy to put together, it took me less than 15 minutes with easy to follow instructions, and now we can have the best of both worlds. Each side is individualized for our comfort. Mine can be raised and his can be lowered. Our FlexiSpot Adjustable S5 bed base comes with a 10-year warranty and can hold up to 750 pounds. FlexiSpot's Zero Gravity Mode raises your legs slightly above your heart to help with your spine's natural curve position. Not only does this help reduce pain, but it also improves blood circulation, reduces snoring, improves digestion, and helps us get a better night's sleep. Our MLILY Dreamer Foam Memory Mattress conforms to our body's curves and creates a zero pressure feel to help relieve tiredness. It also helps to regulate temperature with a top foam layer that contains green tea gel. That provides optimal coolness and comfort. I've also found the perfect solution for my late night editing sessions with FlexiSpot's adjustable Overbed table. This table slides perfectly underneath the bed frame and provides an ergonomic surface for me to comfortably get my work done. FlexiSpot offers a 30-day return service guarantee if you're not fully satisfied with your products, as well as a 10-year warranty. Be sure to check out the link in the description below and order your FlexiSpot today. Sherwin-Williams Chalky Finish chalk paint comes in a full range of all their Sherwin-Williams colors. Most of the stores carry this chalk paint in their locations, but it's always best to call your local Sherwin-Williams to see if they carry it first. I love this chalk paint because it goes really well through my gravity-fed HVL spray gun, and it usually only takes 2 coats for full coverage. The trick to this lacquered look is to apply a high gloss top coat. I applied 3 light coats with a light scuff sand with a 600 grit sanding pad in between each coat that I applied. You can see right away the glossy shine this Minwax Spar urethane leaves behind. It's absolutely gorgeous. I totally lucked out and found the exact lucite pulls that were on that Anthropologie dupe, and they had them on Amazon. I'll use my drawer template to mark the exact spot where they need to go. All the products from today's flips are going to be linked in the comment section down below. And here is my $50 Facebook Marketplace dresser when I started, and here is my after. The color, the high gloss finish, and the knobs turned out just as I envisioned them, and it all came with a price tag that was a little easier to swallow than the original. What do you guys think? Did I come close enough on this one? Let me know in the comments below. Next up, dresser number 2. I promise you, this is not the same dresser that you just watched me flip on the previous one. This is another one I found on Facebook Marketplace. They just keep showing up. Still, it has some damage on the top that I'll need to fix, but all in all, this one was in pretty good shape. I entered this piece into a competition for Better Homes and Gardens. I had seen some buffets online that I was really inspired by with some very modern lines, and I thought this might be the perfect piece to try it out on, so here we go. We're going from big box boring to extremely modern on this one. Instead of making minor adjustments to the legs like the last dresser, this entire base is going to need to go for me to get this look. So I taped off a straight line and used my jigsaw to cut off the trim details. Once that base was removed, I used my orbital sander to make sure everything was smooth. To ensure my paint will stick to the slick laminate surface, I used a 220 grit sanding pad and scuff sanded the entire dresser. I'll do one last clean with warm water before we can start to paint. Modern is the name of the game for this dresser, so I found these really cool gold legs on Amazon and made some starter holes to attach them to the bottom. I'm going to be using a high gloss paint on this dresser and not a chalk paint. I want to be sure that it's going to adhere properly, so I'm using some Lily Moon Eclipse bonding primer on this laminate surface. After my primer dried, I used a 600 grit sanding block to make sure that everything was nice and smooth. I'm using Sherwin-Williams Emerald Urethane Trim Enamel in a high gloss finish in the color Surf Green. I mean, this is for a magazine, so it's kind of go big or go home on this one. This color was super fun to paint. I ended up doing 2 coats of surf green with a light scuff sand in between each coat. Now for the really fun part, we bought some trim pieces at Home Depot and laid out our pattern on the front. Once we had that measured out, we used our miter saw to make our cuts. I used some gold spray paint to cover all of our trim pieces, and once that was dry, we pieced it back together like a puzzle. When it was laid out in place, I used some Titebond wood glue and glued everything to the surface of the dresser. So here's Facebook Marketplace dresser number 2, and here it is after with its ultra modern updated facelift. You all will have to let me know in the comments down below which one of these is your favorite, number 1, number 2, or coming up next, number 3. And last but certainly not least is, you guessed it, here's that dresser one more time. So far we've done high gloss, modern, and now I'm going to go for something a little dressier with a bit of texture. Once again, everything's going to get a good clean and these knobs are not going to stay, so we'll fill those in with some wood fill. It should be no surprise by now that I do not like the bottom of this dresser, so this base is going to go, and we're going to make space for some new updated legs. Now that my wood fill is dry, I'll give everything a nice scuff sand so that my paint will adhere. I found some textured wallpaper on Amazon and I laid it out on the front of my drawers. Once I had everything straight, I used an X-Acto knife to make my cuts and labeled the back of the wallpaper to make sure that they matched up in the same spots. I used some Gorilla Glue on the surface of my drawer fronts, paying extra attention to the corners and the edges. I used Lily Moon's Opulent Paint Collection in the color Smoky Mountain. This paint has a built-in primer and poly top coat. I found these adorable little bund feet on Amazon. I painted them in the same color as my dresser and left them to dry. I drilled some pilot holes in the bottom of my dresser and attached the feet once they were ready. Now that my drawer fronts are dry, I use my hardware template to make sure that my hardware is centered up. Here's one last look at my kinda boring before and my simply beautiful after. Be sure to let me know in the comments down below which one was your favorite today. Number 1, the lacquered Anthropology dupe. Number 2, Better Homes and Gardens modern buffet makeover. Or number 3, the unique wallpapered dresser.
I hope you enjoyed today's video and found some creative and inspiring new ideas to update your own furniture. Or if you're like me, ways to take boring furniture that you find on Facebook Marketplace and flip it for a profit. Be sure to hit that subscribe button down below so that you never miss a flip, and I'll see you next time on Lemons to Lemonade Furniture.